Transfagarasan Highway, Romania's ribbon of legends. Imagine a road so high, so winding, and so jaw-droppingly beautiful that even driving on it feels like an adventure story. That's the Transfagarasan Highway, a road that snakes its way across the rugged Carpathian Mountains, climbing above the clouds and carving through cliffs like a ribbon laid by giants. Built between 1970 and 1974, this highway wasn't just about connecting regions, it was about survival. After the Soviet invasion of Czechoslovakia in 1968, Romania's leader Nicolae Ceausescu wanted a strategic military route that could cross the mountains quickly if needed. And so, more than 6 million kilograms of dynamite were used. Soldiers, many with minimal training, worked in harsh weather conditions at 2,000 meters above sea level, blasting their way through stone. The result? A road that seems to defy logic. 90 kilometers of dramatic switchbacks, tunnels, and viaducts, surrounded by panoramic views that change with every turn. Today, it's considered one of the greatest driving roads in the world, attracting thrill seekers, nature lovers, and anyone who wants to experience Romania from the sky. Bran Castle, the myth behind the stone walls. Now, if there's one place that Romania is most famously associated with, it's Bran Castle, often called Dracula's Castle. Perched on a dramatic cliffside and overlooking a narrow pass between Transylvania and Wallachia, Bran Castle seems tailor-made for dark legends and vampire tales. But here's where things get interesting. While it's often linked to Bram Stoker's Dracula, there's no actual evidence that Vlad the Impaler, the real-life figure behind the Dracula legend, ever lived here. That doesn't stop the castle from casting its spell on visitors. Its Gothic towers, medieval corridors, and winding staircases are pure atmosphere. Built in 1377 by the Saxons of Brasov, it started as a fortress and customs post. Over the centuries, it served many roles: a military defense point, a royal residence for Queen Marie in the 1920s, and now, a museum that blends myth with history. Inside, you'll find antique furniture, art collections, and relics from both the medieval and royal eras. It's not about vampires. It's about time travel, stepping into a place where folklore, royalty, and raw stone all whisper stories. Balea Lake, the legend of love and storms. High in the Ciucas Mountains, cradled by rugged peaks, lies Balea Lake. This glacier lake sits over 2,000 meters high and is more than just a natural wonder. It's a place of legend. According to local tales, a brave shepherd named Balea once defended his flock from a bear. Word of his courage reached the king, who made him a royal guard. While serving at the castle, Balea fell in love with the king's eldest daughter. The two planned to marry, but on their wedding day, a violent storm swept through the mountains and tragically took both of their lives. The lake, born of glaciers, was named in his memory. Today, Balea Lake is a playground for adventurers, from hikers and cyclists in the summer to ice climbers and snow lovers in winter. But the legend of the young shepherd still lingers, turning every ripple of water into a whisper from the past. Lake Vidraru. Secrets beneath the deep. If Lake Vidraru looks like a blue mirror nestled among mountains, that's no coincidence. It was designed to be just that, a reservoir of both power and beauty. Built in 1965, this artificial lake collects the waters of the Argeș River and stretches across nearly 9 kilometers. But here's where the story dips into the mysterious. Beneath the lake's surface lies the sunken village of Carpathian. People once lived where the water now flows. And when the dam was built, some refused to leave. They were never seen again. Even today, when water levels drop, remnants of homes can be seen peeking through. Locals talk of strange currents and sudden temperature shifts, things that make diving dangerous, and legends of lake monsters all the more believable. It's not just a body of water, it's a place where engineering, loss, and legend meet in a quiet, shimmering silence. Rasnov Fortress, where the villagers held the line. In a world of castles built for kings, Rasnov Fortress stands apart, because it was built by and for regular people. High above the town of Rasnov, on a limestone hill, this fortress was a place of refuge, not luxury. No royal halls here, just homes, a school, workshops, and strong stone walls. It was a village behind a wall, built in the 13th century to protect against Tatar invasions. And it worked. For centuries, it stood strong against sieges, earthquakes, and time itself. When enemies came, people could live here for months, sometimes years. The only time it ever fell was in 1612, when attackers discovered its secret water source. After that, locals spent 17 years digging a 470-foot well through solid rock, by hand. Today, Rasnov Fortress is a monument to community resilience. Walk through its alleys, and you're walking where cobblers, blacksmiths, and schoolteachers once stood guard. Peles Castle, Romania's royal spark of innovation. Nestled in the Carpathian Mountains near Sinaia, Peles Castle looks like it was plucked from a storybook. But behind its fairy tale exterior lies a surprisingly modern history. Built in the late 1800s, Peles was the first castle in the world to be fully powered by electricity. Commissioned by King Carol I, this neo-Renaissance masterpiece includes more than 170 rooms, each with its own theme, from Turkish lounges to grand armories. It even had central heating, vacuum systems, and a retractable glass ceiling. But it's not just about technology. The castle was built to impress, with imported marble, Murano chandeliers, and wood carvings so intricate they seem alive. Royal families, artists, and dignitaries from all over Europe came here, drawn by its charm and its innovation. Peles is a place where old-world elegance meets cutting-edge invention, wrapped in the misty forests of Romania. Ciucas Mountains, peaks from a painter's dream. If the gods ever handed a paintbrush to nature, the result might look like the Ciucas Mountains. Their dramatic ridges, spiraling formations, and towering spires seem sculpted by fantasy. These mountains, part of the curvature Carpathians, aren't the tallest in Romania, but they're among the most surreal. The peaks twist and lean like they're mid-dance. Valleys curve gently below, fed by rivers like the Buzău and Terlung. From the Vârful Ciucas Peak to the Brătoșa Ridge, this landscape invites hikers, photographers, and dreamers. But the deeper magic lies in its stillness, a quiet reminder that beauty doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it just waits. Lake Tarnitza, whispers from the deep. Stretching across Cluj County, Lake Tarnitza is a man-made wonder with natural charm and a touch of mystery. Created in 1974 after the construction of the Tarnitza Dam, the lake now spans 9 kilometers and plunges up to 70 meters deep. Locals say strange things lie beneath those calm waters: buried treasure, forgotten fortresses, even a Romanian Loch Ness monster. Whether or not the legends are true, there's no denying the atmosphere, the stillness, the secrets. Visitors come for the scenery, kayaking, swimming, water skiing, but they often leave talking about the vibe. The way the mist curls over the surface at sunrise, the silence that feels almost alive. Tarnitza is more than a reservoir. It's a place that listens. Danube Delta, nature's last whisper. At the edge of Romania, where the Danube River meets the Black Sea, lies the Danube Delta, Europe's best preserved natural wetland. It didn't always exist. Thousands of years ago, this was open sea. But over time, the river pushed back, layer by layer, creating a labyrinth of channels, islands, and lakes. Now, it's a haven for biodiversity. Nearly 300 species of birds, over 100 species of fish, vast stretches of reeds and water lilies. It's wild, raw, and ever-changing. The Delta is more than nature. It's survival in slow motion, a place where land, water, and life constantly shift, evolve, and adapt, just like the stories Romania is known for. Mary Cemetery, Săpanța, where life laughs at death. Tucked away in the village of Săpanța, the Mary Cemetery flips every idea about graveyards on its head. Instead of gray tombstones and quiet mourning, this place bursts with color, humor, and brutally honest epitaphs. Each grave is marked by a bright wooden cross, painted in shades of blue, decorated with folk art, and accompanied by rhyming poems. These verses don't sugarcoat life. They talk about drinking, gossiping, cheating, laughing, all the real parts of being human. This tradition began in the 1930s with local artist Stan Ioan Patraș, and it's continued by his apprentice Dumitru Pop, who still carves, paints, and writes these one-of-a-kind tributes. Sighisoara, time's favorite hideaway. Step into Sighisoara, and you're stepping into one of the best-preserved medieval citadels in Europe. Narrow cobblestone streets, pastel buildings, fortified walls, and ancient towers. It's like a time capsule from the 12th century. Founded by Transylvanian Saxons, the town grew into a vibrant trade center, protected by 14 defensive towers, each built and guarded by a guild: blacksmiths, tailors, goldsmiths, and more. Their legacy still lines the streets. Sighisoara is also believed to be the birthplace of Vlad the Impaler. His supposed childhood home still stands, a subtle echo of the Dracula legend. But beyond the myths, the magic here is in the details. Iron balconies, flowered windows, and the clock tower rising over the old square. Sighisoara is more than a city. It's a storybook still being written. Rupea Fortress, rock, fire, and rebirth. Standing on a basalt cliff like a watchful guardian, Rupea Fortress tells a story of resilience. Built in the 14th century by the Saxons, it became a key trade and military hub between Transylvania, Wallachia, and Moldova. Over centuries, it faced sieges, fires, and abandonment. At one point, even plans for demolition, because the rock it sat on was wanted for construction. For a time, only a single tower remained. But in the early 2000s, Rupea got a second chance. Restoration brought its spiraling walls, towers, and courtyards back to life. Now, visitors climb its paths, touch its stone, and overlook the hills of Brasov County. It's a fortress that fell, but never disappeared, just like the stories it holds. Sinaia, a town dressed in royal mist. Sinaia feels like it was built to host fairy tales. Wrapped in pine forests and sitting in the Prahova Valley, it's a town with royal roots and alpine charm. The heart of Sinaia beats from the 17th century monastery that gave it its name. But it was King Carol I who truly transformed it by choosing this spot for his summer residence, the magnificent Peles Castle. From cobbled streets to luxury hotels, from mountain trails to music festivals, Sinaia balances heritage and leisure. Even the laws here protect the environment. No cutting trees, no picking alpine flowers. This is a place where kings once walked, artists found peace, and nature wraps around every building like a gentle cloak. Cluj-Napoca, young at heart, old in soul. Cluj-Napoca doesn't try to be cool. It just is. As Romania's second-largest city, it blends medieval architecture, academic buzz, and digital innovation with surprising ease. St. Michael's Church rises from the center like a Gothic exclamation mark. The old town's winding streets echo with centuries of culture, and yet cafes are full of students, tech startups are booming, and festivals pulse through the city year-round. Named European Youth Capital in 2015 and a UNESCO Creative City of Film in 2021, Cluj knows how to honor its roots while reinventing itself daily. It's a city where past and future don't compete. They collaborate. Cele Turzi, Romania's hidden Jurassic Park. Just outside Cluj, Cele Turzi, or Turda Gorge, slices through limestone like a knife. This natural reserve is a dramatic 2.9-kilometer canyon with sheer cliffs rising up to 300 meters on either side. Formed over millions of years by the Hașteit River, this gorge is one of Romania's richest karst landscapes. It's home to over 1,000 plant and animal species, rare garlic, soaring eagles, fluttering butterflies, and foxes hiding in the underbrush. For hikers, it's a dream of bridges, caves, and panoramic views. For climbers, a vertical playground, and for anyone willing to walk its paths, a direct connection to nature's raw beauty. Romania isn't just a place, it's a feeling. It lives in the echo of mountain roads, in the shimmer of lakes hiding stories, in fortresses built by villagers, and castles wired for the future. It laughs through painted tombstones and whispers through ancient gorges. It breathes through cities full of youth and dances in villages frozen in time. Each destination, whether carved by nature, built by kings, or shaped by legends, is a chapter in a story that never truly ends. Because in Romania, legends don't just survive, they thrive. If this journey stirred something inside, if these places spoke to you even through a screen, imagine what they'll feel like in person. So, go ahead, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss more hidden wonders from around the world. And tell us in the comments, which Romanian legend would you want to experience first? Until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and let the legends live on.